If I had to start freelancing consulting from day one, what would I actually do? The first thing I do is find a community. And the reason why is because freelancing is hard and it's kind of lonely. I know this might sound like the most ridiculous answer to the question that you've ever heard, but it's true. Trust me on this when I say that the people who I've seen succeed as freelance consultants in any industry, they've succeeded because they've had support. They've had people to talk to bounce ideas off, to do all of that kind of stuff. And that really helps to keep things moving, because what you're doing is building a legacy. You're building something that doesn't matter on the how you pay the bills. The second thing I do is kind of based on community, and that is networking. If I had to put down where the majority of clients that I've got have come from, the answer to that question is actually from networking events, meeting people, community. Basically, community again is the answer. Seriously, don't discount community. Having those kind of people to talk to in other industries, to go to like BNI networking events, to go to different meetup events for different business owners, not just BNI, there's heaps of them around. Go to meetup.com, go and find some events that are on near you with other business owners, get talking and see what happens, see what comes out of it. Chances are you won't get the work straight away. It might be like a long burn, but over time, maybe a year, that's where the difference really starts to settle in. And that's where having these people that you've been talking to and building relationships with over the years comes into fruition. Seriously, I'm not joking. This actually works. Off the back of this, if I was to start freelance consulting, I would be talking to family and friends. So not just meeting new people who have businesses, but talking to family and friends who do have businesses, to just people in general. Getting the noise out there and saying that you're doing this will eventually work towards your favor, where maybe a family member meets someone and they're like, oh, I'm doing this and this. And they're like, oh, my nephew or my cousin or whatever is doing this. Maybe you guys should have a chat. There might be something that you guys could do together here. These warm relationships are what really help to bring in work, especially over a long term. Now, something I want to clarify mid-conversation here is that when I talk about consulting, I don't talk about once-off projects, doing a once-off pen test type thing. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about recurring work, something that you can mark down on your MRR, monthly recurring revenue. This is what really helps you to build a business, is once you have MRR, then it's something that you can build upon. So with the two sort of levels of community here, business relationships and just having people to help support you, that's really what I would do to start off. I would also be looking at different methods of outreach to bring in those first few customers, because for anyone who's tried to start a business before, you all know that the hardest thing to get going initially is customers. Getting people in to talk to, getting people in who actually need your service. Those are the hard parts of starting any business. It doesn't matter what business it is. If it's property management, if it's a cybersecurity consultant, if it's someone working in Power BI or Power Automate, automations for business processes, whatever it is that you're doing. Web design, SEO, doesn't matter. The hardest part of all of these businesses is actually getting clients in. And meeting people is just one angle here. There's lots of other angles like lead generation through forms, like basically creating a website with a form on it that captures leads, and then you try and advertise that form to get as many leads as you can. There's different types of methods of outreach on that are a little bit more direct, like literally calling people, messaging people on LinkedIn, Facebook, joining groups like that other business owners are in that you can talk to. Any sort of online community also really helps. I will say though that the physical in-person communities, that's really where it's at. And by saying that as well, people who want to work fully remote like I do, I work from anywhere there's an internet connection, really. And it's cool. But initially, I did not work remotely. I worked in the city near where my clients were, and I regularly visited them. Now they sing my praise to other business owners and I get work through there. It's a really good situation. That was really hard to build though. So for anyone wondering how long that took, it was like 3 years. First 1 or 2 years, I was working full time. And this is my last point, which is to keep the stress down. Make sure you have some revenue locked in that's going to pay your bills. The most stressful part of having a business is having no cash flow. No cash flow, no business. If you want to start freelance consulting, or if you want to start any business at all, make sure you've either got a truckload of savings or you have something to keep the bills paid. If that's a contract job, if that's a part-time job, if that's a job that you have that you don't really see a future in, but it helps pay the bills. Maybe that's like driving an Uber, for example, or working night shift packing shelves at Woolworths or Coles, or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to anyone but you. And if people are going to judge you for how you're making money, they can get screwed. I'll hold back on the naughty words. How you pay the bills right now, it's how you pay the bills in the future and how you have freedom in the future. And trust me when I say this, and I've worked some terrible jobs. I did food delivery on Uber. I did Uber driving as well. I worked in a bar at night time. I recharged Lime scooters. I've done all the horrible work before to bring in the money so that I could build my own business. Now that I have my business, a lot of my friends are asking, what do you actually do for work? How are you able to travel all the time and work from anywhere? And if I need some help moving house in the middle of the day, you're able to do that. Well, guess what? I spent a lot of years messing about trying to make some money so that I could have the freedom by having my own business. And that's what I built. And this video is not about myself. I'm just talking from experience on justifying having a job that maybe isn't quite as bourgeois as what you might think or what your friends might think you have. And that's perfectly fine. It doesn't actually matter. All that matters is that you're paying the bills and that you have less stress during the day to keep your business running, to keep pushing on with the community on the background, and to get those clients in. The sweet spot I find for most people is somewhere between 5 and 10 clients. If you can get 10 clients, you're making a pretty good wage. That's where you can actually quit your job, depending on the industry, of course. If you don't have 10 clients, it's going to be hard, but you'll still make some money. You'll definitely have freedom though, which is good, but you're gonna have no money, which is bad. Unless, of course, you have some sort of other income that's going to help bring in cash. So that's what I would do if I was starting a freelance consultancy from scratch. Those are the steps I would take, the real basic base level steps. If you're looking for help starting your business, please click on the link in the description. Let's book in a one-on-one time to chat. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. I love you and good luck out there.